All right, welcome in, Mets fans. How y'all feeling out there tonight? If this is your first time being here, my name is Uncle Freezy. I'm a diehard Mets fan. It's a pleasure to be with you and to rock with you and talk that Mets fans love to talk. I have a lot of things that I'd like to talk about with you tonight. Some Cody Bellinger, some Kyle Tucker, some Brett Beatty being on potentially being added to some powerhouse trades, some Mets rumors about certain pitchers that are the Mets are potentially interested in. There's a lot of stuff for us to talk about. Why these trades are, or these trade rumors may be important, sending smoke signals, or may just be smoke. JJ in the building, the number one Mets fan is in the building. Salute. JJ says, let's go. I'm feeling fairly optimistic. We're getting Tucker. I think that may be in the bag. And JJ also says, I'll be surprised if we don't land Tucker or Bellinger. I'd be very surprised, JJ. Honestly, I'd be shocked. I'd be shocked if the Mets didn't land one or the other or both. Jay, the chosen one, is in the building. Salute.
Salute. As usual, late on time. Late on time.
No, you late on time, bro. You're late on time, bro. But it's perfect timing. However we describe it, it's perfect timing, bro. Always. Good to see you, brother.
Good, always good to see you, brother.
Yeah, man. It's a busy day. It's been a busy Lawrence Tears day today, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's been a busy Lawrence Tears day.
I checked it all out, by the way. I didn't get at you, but I've been checking it all out. I've been wondering who has, but I'm gonna leave it. You know what? I don't even know.
I'll point the finger. I'm the star witness. Yeah, and I know who has.
Okay.
Hey, Chad, I'm the star witness. I know who has been looking at all that stuff, right? But so I have a ton of questions that I have to ask you and other Mets fans. I think it would be unfair, though, for me to first not say thank you to everyone that is watching us on X and everyone watching us on YouTube, and those of you guys that are dedicated to help this channel grow. I do understand there's plenty of places where you can get your Mets content, but thank you for including us in the sharing of the Mets content. Right? I'm not a journalist. I don't pretend to be a journalist, but what I will tell you is I am a Mets fan. And I have been since about 1974, 75-ish. I was there when I was alive when Cleon Jones caught the last out. I didn't know what I was looking at. All I knew was everybody was happy and jumping around. And so when you're like 4 or 5 years old or whatever, and you see adults jumping around, losing their mind, drinking Schlitz and champagne.
You about to give me the Schlitz.
When you see adults jumping around, celebrating, and you're a kid, you have no other. Your impulse is just to do what they're doing. So
exactly.
Yeah, man.
I've been a fan since like '84, so okay. We're like we're not telling on ourselves, but
right.
That's so dope, though. The perspective of having that. Not to interrupt you on that, but I remember my father used to get on the seat at Shea and wave his shirt in circles and go woo 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 woo, and I'd be like, Dad, get down from there, right? I was all like freaked out by it, and now I do it, and I'm worried that thing's gonna break. But
right,
yeah,
man.
My father was on the field when they all stormed the field in '69. He still got the grass and all that.
Bro, I was probably, when that happened, I was probably I wasn't even 2 years old, bro, when it happened. That's not, I count that as our World Series, but I wasn't, I was there, but I wasn't really there. You know what I mean?
You know, I hear you.
Yeah.
He was alive for them.
Yeah.
I mean, people can say that.
For both, 1969 is the greatest year in sports history, in my opinion. The greatest year in sports history. Some team from New York won something called like a Super Bowl or something.
Yeah, the only one, right? That
one.
Yeah. Those guys.
some team won like, what was it, a Super Bowl or whatever it was? Whatever. And my beloved Knicks, oh my gosh, they were on their way to winning a championship the following summer, but that year they lost in the Eastern Conference Finals to our hated rivals. But 1969 was a great year, man.
Yeah. Oh, I know that loss was horrible. But
yeah.
Real quick, I think I've done this before. You know that last catch that you were a little baby for,
right?
Or young, very baby.
I was a
baby. I mean, if you were just excited because adults were excited, that's a baby.
I didn't come out of the womb like this, bro. That would have been one hell of a womb, bro, if I came out of the womb like this.
I might have. The way my mother talks to me, I think I might have.
Immaculate conception.
Came out high-fiving the doctor, like, come on, give me some.
Right. Came out tipping him like an Uber driver.
You know who hit the ball to Cleon Jones?
Yep, I do.
Okay. How about anybody in the chat? Anybody in the chat know who hit that ball? We won't keep it long, or maybe 10 seconds.
Right. While people are coming in, we'll ask them. Everyone, does anyone in here know what Baltimore Orioles batter made the final out of the 1969 World Series? A fly ball to left field. While Tommy Agee was sprinting that way, our center fielder, it was hit to our beloved left fielder. The answer always makes me laugh.
Yeah, right. The answer's ironic. I'll put it like irony, that. The irony in it is amazing.
Yeah.
You know what? I
like how you use the word amazing right there, bro.
It just fits the Mets, I think. Like a little bit. Just a little bit.
Right.
I'm gonna give you the honors, brother. I'm gonna give you the honors. So the man who hit that ball was none other than
the Baltimore Orioles all-star second baseman that went on to become a major league manager and a Mets legend, Davey Johnson. Davey Johnson.
How about that, Jay?
And chat. I have a mind full of those only Mets fans useful stats. But in real life, if you ask me a real life question, I'm like, But if you ask me about the Mets and Knicks and Jets and Giants and Yankees and Rangers and Devils and Chicago Bears and Long Island or New York Islanders or Buffalo Bills or whatever, I know all that stuff, and I'm not for sure. Maybe I was that kid that downloaded information from Warner Wolf. You remember Warner Wolf, right?
Yeah. Warner Wolf. You are bringing his back in the day.
Yeah, yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah.
So it was Davy Johnson who then, of course.
Davy Johnson was the manager for the Mets next World Series run. Right now, the Mets were good from 69 to 73. They're decent, right? But one of the things people don't know is that 1973 team, again, another great year for New York sports. The New York Knicks win the NBA title, and the Mets are in the World Series. Right? But Davy Johnson took over this team, and what year was it? 83-ish?
Yep.
80. I don't want to say 84 because I think he was already full-time in 84, but I think it's like 83-ish.
Middle 83, I thought. Oh, no. Beginning of the year.
Yeah, I think so.
Around 83. Around 83.
Around 83.
Before Doc and before Strawberry.
Yeah. Those kids were in the pipeline, but trust me, y'all, they were our Jet Williams and Brandon Sproul. Right. They were in the pipeline. Like Doc Gooden was our Christian Scott, except really, really younger. Like really young. Doc Gooden was our, can you believe this guy throws this hard? He was that guy, like Christian Scott, right?
19 when he won it.
19
when he won
Rookie of the Year. Right? Yeah. Bro, he was like Pedro, bro. If anybody remembers how good Pedro was. Oh, man. That team, believe it or not, in 83, we make the trade for Keith Hernandez, right?
Right.
The Cardinals had to trade Keith, right? They had to. They had to get Keith out of St. Louis. Stuff was just bizarre.
Yeah.
And the Mets needed a guy because they went through the Dave Kingman era, which was a disaster. And they went through the Dave Kingman, George Foster, Joe Youngblood, Hubie Brooks, Rafael Santana, John Stearns era. And we couldn't win Pat Terrell, a whole bunch of those guys, and we just couldn't. Somehow the engine just wouldn't start with that group of veterans. And I'm saying that nicely, right? Like I'm not trying to throw anyone under the bus. I'm trying to say it like nicely or whatever.
Right, because a lot of those guys could actually hit the bombs. Foster came in. But
it's just they couldn't hit. It's just they couldn't hit. Bro.
Right. They couldn't do anything else, bro.
They just couldn't. If they ever made contact, you remember the Mets were out by LaGuardia, so you didn't know what was in the air, baseballs or airplanes, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I once saw George Foster towards the end of his career. The bases are loaded. And George Foster comes walking up. And he was older already, right? And he hit a line drive grand slam. I'm talking about when it came off the bat.
Nobody.
I thought it was going to hit be a one hopper.
Yeah.
That thing just. So he was a strong man.
Yeah, he was.
He looked. You know what he looked like? He looked like he worked like a longshoreman.
Yeah. Basically, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. When you say longshoreman, I was thinking like railroad guy. Like
the railroad guy. That'd be doing.
Basically the same image.
Yeah.
Right. Bro. Yeah, yeah. Those days, those in those days, everybody, and not to show anyone else that does Knicks content, because there are a lot of respectable Mets guys um in Mets universe, and um in respect to those guys for doing all the great work that they do. I respect those guys. Huge fan of those guys and the work they put in.
Yeah.
This channel is slightly different in that um the breaking of the news is important, but having the Mets conversations is just as important to me, and I hope as it is to you guys. Like, I like having the conversation about who the Mets third baseman of the future is. Is it Brett Beatty? Is it Vientos? Is it one of the kids from the farm? Is it a young outsider looking to reestablish himself? Right?
Right.
Is it somebody off the radar that we don't know? So,
Could be Suarez out of
yeah,
the blue.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are some names. There are some names that I want to talk about too, that we may have forgotten about. Um, and I said his name before, and I'm just going to quiz the chat. Chat, do y'all remember the first round pick that we spent on Kevin Parada? Remember the first base, the catcher out of Georgia Tech? So we signed Francisco Alvarez the year before. I think we signed Alvarez in 2020, and then we draft Kevin Parada in 2021 out of Georgia Tech. And we didn't know which guy was going to be the all-star, but we did have thoughts that one of those guys was going to be an all-star level first baseman, kind of. In the for Parada, I think we were thinking that he could be Matt Wieters. Do you remember Matt Wieters, the catcher from the Baltimore Orioles?
From Baltimore that cracked like 50 home runs one year.
Yeah.
But he had like a 091. Yeah. Anyway,
I think he had injuries. He was a 6'5" switch hitting catcher,
monster,
right, with monster power and excellent. Well, I'm not going to say excellent. He was working his way towards being an excellent defensive catcher.
Yeah, with freakish power.
Yeah.
Freakish power.
Number one pick power, right? Yeah. When you draft a catcher number one, he's got to have a unique skill set.
That's a good point.
And he had a unique skill set. Usually, if I'm drafting number one, it's got to be a college pitcher with a proven track record of tough competition that he dominated. Right? If it were me, I'm looking for Steven Strasburg in every draft.
Yeah.
Is there one? Right? I'm looking for, what's the guy with the Yankees? The Yankees guy went to UCLA. The guy he's still there now.
I know who you're talking about. He actually gets the most strikeouts, I think, every year, but you know I hate it so much. Hate's bad word. I dislike them incredibly much. What is his name? The one that they traded for about a couple years back.
He had an arm injury a couple of years ago.
He had an arm. Yeah, I think he had Tommy John or something, and then he came back and he still was killing.
Still dominant. Still.
Yeah. You know what's crazy? Maybe I tune them out so much, but I'm a baseball guy.
Right.
What the hell is this guy name?
He went
not Joey Gallo, the pitcher. The pitcher.
No, the pitcher. Yeah.
They're number one. They're number one pitcher.
Their ace. He was at UCLA with the guy that had the SA allegations.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Garrison some of the G. Garrett Cole.
Garrett Cole, that's his name. I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, Garrett Cole. That's him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
I hear you. I'd start with I mean, that's how. I mean, you want to take it back for real. I mean, that's how we started. I mean, by picking somebody like Dwight Gooden first. you start, and your team is starting to build up. Don't
Right.
I don't want to make it seem because that team already was starting to build up, but they started, picking people back to back to back. Like as soon as I picked him, there was also a Ron Darling that was a really good pitcher too.
Yeah, we got him from the Texas Rangers. He was drafted by the Texas Rangers, and we traded for him really early, like kind of like Zach Wheeler. Remember Zach Wheeler was a young prospect with the Giants, and he couldn't stay healthy.
Yeah.
So we got Ron Darling from the Texas Rangers. As a matter of fact, we traded from him out of spring training. He was on his way somewhere with Texas, and the Mets scooped him up before. And so we got him really early. We traded the number one pick in 1980 was Darryl Strawberry. So we get drafted Darryl Strawberry with the number one pick in 1980. Mookie Wilson was on the farm. Wally Backman was on the farm.
Yep.
Who else was on the farm?
Doc
was on the farm.
He was in lower.
Yeah. I think we traded with the Dodgers and got a not so physique looking pitcher
lefty
from Hawaii named Sid Fernandez. We got him from the Dodgers early on. I use the word physique. Physique is a new word, everybody.
I want that with extra tzatziki sauce.
Tzatziki sauce.
I'm into it.
Yeah, man.
Oh man, I love that team.
Yeah, not to shift gears. I do. JJ said, "I heard you say strikeouts, and Gallo popped in my mind immediately." Right? Who strikes out more than Joey Gallo and the what's the name? The dude from the Cincinnati Reds from back in the day. They called them the mule or the donkey with it. Adam Dunn. Remember Adam Dunn?
Adam Dunn.
The big dude, man.
Big dude guy. Yep. Another one of those big guys.
Bro, he hit
Gallo size.
Yeah, man. He hit a home run. He hit a home run in Shea Stadium, bro, off the manufacturer's Hanover sign. Mm-hmm. And I was like, how the hell do you hit a baseball that far, bro?
Yeah.
And then when it hit the manufacturer's Hanover sign, it made a noise like, dude. He was like, yo. Oh, my. And then like 2 days later, he hit a sign. I mean, he hit a home run to right center and knocked one of the scoreboard lights out. So, golly, bro, these dudes are.
He wasn't the only one that hit that. Darryl Strawberry also broke one of them lights. But he definitely didn't hit the sign. But Darryl Strawberry hit the roof or the dome. Was that was Montreal? What was that?
That was Olympic Stadium in Montreal.
Yeah, Olympic Stadium, yeah.
Yeah. They didn't have a roof at that time.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry. It wasn't enclosed at that time. Remember, if they turned it into a dome, they wanted to be in a retractable dome. They ran out of money and they just turned it into a regular dome, right?
Yeah.
But he hit it off of what do you call the light things out there in the where they have like all the light I want to call it a light fixture, but it's not a lamp.
It's not a lamp for sure. You mean the outfield lights?
Yeah, the bank of lights that they have out there, and
the outfield lights.
He hit one off the top of that, bro.
The natural. The
prettiest left-handed swing I ever saw until I saw King Griffey.
Until you know what? You beat me to it, bro.
Right. Well, that's it. Hey, we're out of here, everybody. Time to go.
Yo, I'm a little mad. I was gonna say the same thing. Prettiest until I saw Ken Griffey's.
I think a lot of us felt like that as kids when you said, bro. Oh my gosh, bro.
Yeah. And you're not to get off the subject of the Mets real quick, but it's never like a bad thing to mention Ken Griffey Jr., right? Who was like an ambassador of how to play baseball. Let me just tell you, he was asked one time, real quick, I just want to throw this out there, if he ever did steroids, and he laughed for like 60 seconds straight.
Right.
And his response was, look how many home runs I've hit and how many times I've been hurt.
Right.
I would never have gotten hurt. If I never got hurt, I probably would have 1,400 home runs. That's what his answer was.
Right. Yeah. And I'll be honest with you. I love Griffey. He is probably, of all the baseball players I've ever seen, I think he might be my favorite all-around baseball player to watch. And it's because, not because of his individual talents, but how easy it is to build a team around Ken Griffey, right? Like, legitimately, you can build a team. You can take a bunch of dudes, add Ken Griffey to it, and all of a sudden, you found Jay Buhner.
Right.
I didn't even know Jay Buhner had power. Well, you put him in a lineup with Ken Griffey, and all of a sudden,
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Jay Buhner became a monster. He made everybody better. He made everything look easy.
Easy, bro. I mean, easy, bro.
Easy.
You put
home runs, had a gun,
steal bases.
He did everything.
Yeah.
If somebody could have like a 6 or a 7 tool bag, Ken Griffey.
Yep. Right.
Yeah.
Ken Griffey in your lineup gives you can't. Now, here's the thing. When you play with Ken Griffey, you have to have an elite defensive shortstop, right? Because Ken Griffey is going to play a very deep center field, right? He's going to play like now, while nothing is going to get over his head, a lot of balls fell in front of Griffey, right? Yep. But you can't be everywhere at once. You could say the same thing about Willie Mays. Like, you have to have an elite up-the-middle tandem, because Willie Mays is not making those diving catches 80, 90, 100 feet behind second base. Now, he's not going to get to all of those.
Right.
But anything at the wall is an out, period.
Yep, that's right.
Anything in the gaps, if he can't catch it, you still have to run station to station. It's not like you have Brandon Nimmo in center, where if it's in a gap, the fat first baseman is thinking triple off the rip.
Right. Bartolo Colon's thinking triple.
Thinking inside the ball, right? So yeah, man. Soon as Bartolo Colon is thinking,
come in, I can do it. I know it.
Yeah, man.
Oh, Bartolo, man. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, I heard some of the news this week, man.
Right.
And as the offseason creeps to, or the hot stove creeps to a place, it makes me think, man, that these MLB teams really don't have a plan, bro. They don't. Right? I don't think these teams, I don't think Stearns has a plan, bro. Like, I wish I could say confidently that David Stearns has a plan, but everything I hear during the offseason and then the rumor the next day is like the opposite of what I think the Mets are trying to do. And it's frustrating to me because if you're going defense, right? So if you're going defense, how do you sign Jorge Polanco? Right? If you're going, yeah, if you're going defense, how do you show massive interest in Kyle Tucker? Right? If you're going defense, how are you not looking at making the trade for Nico Horner? Right? Like we know Nico Horner can hit, right? Like we know Nico Horner can hit, but he's a glove man, bro.
Yeah, so I was looking at that today. He is a glove.
Right now the Marcus Semien thing to me is a great ad, but here's the thing though, and I'm not trying to be ageist or I don't have a bias for age or any of that stuff. But dudes that generally get older up the middle tend to lose a step, bro.
Yeah.
Right? Like
Such life.
Huh?
Such is life. I mean, yeah,
Life,
that's what
right.
happens. Yeah. 100%.
Right. Like I don't know if Yeah. Yeah.
Well, okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead, brother.
No, go ahead, man. You go ahead. Because I was gonna go on a rant.
Not ranted.
Bro, how do you not secure pitching by now? And how do you not, because it's January, bro. It's the second week of January, right? Come Thursday, we'll be in the third week of January with pitchers and catchers reporting in so pitchers and catchers probably report in about 4 weeks or 3 weeks from today, right? Guys, you'll see the ESPN videos, guys walking in the training camp. You'll hear the crunching of cleats on concrete.
Yep.
Guys with bat bags and all these things during the press tour, having a weird conversation. Hey, I'm in the best shape of my life. All the stuff you hear at the beginning of every year. I'm in the best shape of my life. Right. I'll let my agent have the contract conversations, all that stuff. You're gonna hear all that stuff in spring training. And right now, the Mets have, I think they have 8 major league starting caliber starting pitchers right now. None of them are an ace. Right. So the Mets have probably 5 or 6. Wait. Let me step that back some. The Mets probably have, out of the 8, they probably have 5 guys that are generally 4th and 5th starters. Right.
4th or 5th. I agree with that.
They have one guy with ace potential if he can stay healthy.
Big if.
Right? Yeah, but that's a big if, right? Yep. You have 2 guys that are certainly number 2 or 3 starters, but in my opinion, they don't have an ace. Right?
Yeah.
The Mets don't have an ace right now, and it's not because of ability. One guy is so young that you can't force the ace label on him yet because he hasn't proven himself, right? Like what's the guy name? Dang, bro. Jeez. Well, what do you think about the pitching staff? Let me just ask you that.
So we gotta put it like this. I'm gonna run the starting names to you. How about Noah McLean, Cody Senga, We have David Peterson, Clay Holmes, which I'm just going to leave that out there for a minute. Shomania. And these are the starters. I can name the pitchers in general if you want, but
David, did you say David Peterson?
I said David Peterson.
Oh, Tyler McGill.
Tyler McGill.
Okay.
We have Shomania, I think I said. And then I'm going to add in probably Tom. And I'll put Sprout there just because they're planning on it. And Christian Scott.
My guy. You know that's my guy, bro.
Yeah, I know that's your guy.
Yeah, that's my guy, man.
Well, I'm very hopeful with coming off of very successful, apparently, from what I've done a lot. Ever since I found out I was your guy like that, I've done a lot of research. Apparently, he's looking good. And that, they're very hopeful. So, but that's like a lot of arms, but not a lot of aces.
Right.
Now, Cody Senga stays healthy. A big if again, capital I, capital F. He is an ace potential. No doubt about it. The man was pitching to an under 2 ERA. The one thing about him is the two things are what? He's injury prone now. If he's injured, he's injury prone. He's been injured back-to-back years, right? So, and he requires a 6-man rotation. So, that could help in some sort of fashion, but I think it hurts us more because of all the other guys being 2s, 3s, and a lot of 4s and 5s. So if there's a lot of 4s and 5s,
right,
we don't want a 6-man rotation. We want a 5-man rotation. Just condense it, throw out your best pitchers every 5 days, and condense it. What they should do with him is a different subject in my mind. I like to see him split the time with somebody else, like a 4 and 4.
Okay. Right.
And they get a bunch of other guys. We're gonna get back some solid whatchamacallit, bullpen arms. We have Reed Garrett and Devin Williams, AJ Minter, who we missed a lot last year.
Right.
Big time.
Right.
Maybe Tyler McGill is a bullpen. Is he
he's got. There was a time he was our ace.
Didn't he start or was that Peterson?
No, he started opening day. The years before Verlander and Scherzer. He was
McGill,
here.
right?
Yeah, he was here. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, there was a few years back. It was like 21, 22.
22 sounds about right.
22, right?
Yeah, 22. 22 sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah. Because the other guys left back-to-back years, maybe about 2 years ago.
Right. Um yeah. The Mets have a lot of pitching, bro.
We have a lot of pitching, and we have a lot of pitching in the farm.
Right.
That a lot of people there's a lot of names. Just because we hear these names, they're not the only ones that are primarily ready. Believe me. So, but yeah,
Right.
they're deep in the pitching.
Right.
But
So
how good is it though? You happy with it?
I think you have to have it.
Yeah.
I think you have to have it. Right. The thing is, having it and not having roster space for it is the tough part, man.
Right.
That's the tough part.
Yeah, but after watching last year, them go out and get excellent, supposedly excellent help for the bullpen.
Right.
What that did was that hurt the bench in some ways because you couldn't keep up like an Acuna for a pinch runner or a defense replacement.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So we need our pitches to be efficient. And yes, we need a decent amount of pitches. There's no doubt about it. Not a decent, more than that.
Right.
A healthy amount.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I trust your baseball mind.
I appreciate that.
Right. But I'm scared.
Scared up. Mm-hmm.
Right. Here's the reason why I'm scared.
I'm listening.
You know, the Mets are great at finding young, talented pitchers.
Right.
That's how. If I ask you what defines the New York Mets franchise as a whole, what's the one thing that the Mets do an excellent job at, based on ownership, or not based on ownership, whether it's the Doubleday family, whether it's the Wilpon family, whether it's the Cohen family, regardless who the general managers are, whoever, what does this franchise do good? Right? You could absolutely say the Mets over the Dodgers, over the Yankees, over the Astros, the Mets find elite young arms and develop them and turn them into aces at the major league level. Right? There's no doubt. If you're a baseball historian and you ask someone, what is the Mets calling card? It's absolutely finding pitching, like finding aces, grooming them, and getting them to the major leagues. We do it so much. As a matter of fact, we do it so much that certain Mets aces get lost to history. Right?
Yeah.
Certain young aces get lost in the shit. The Dark Knight. in the grand scheme of things, he's going to be not forgotten in terms of he's a forgettable player, but Matt Harvey was so good. But on his heels were Steven Matz, Noah Syndergaard, Seth Lugo, Jacob deGrom, all those guys that as soon as you say their name, you're like, you know what?
Right.
Seth Lugo may have been better than Matt Harvey.
Right.
And here's the thing. We think Seth Lugo, bro, when he got to Kansas City, man, forget it. Bro, when he got to Kansas, when Zach Wheeler got to Philadelphia,
oh,
man, get out of here.
That one hurts the worst.
Right. Yeah, you feel me? You feel me? Like the Mets find elite arms and develop them, and they become the Mets at one time had 2 of the top 10 pitchers of all time in the same rotation, and Nolan Ryan and Tom Seaver.
And made wonderful trades.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I was gonna get to that part. You beat me to it.
Sorry.
You beat me to it, bro. Because I was about to remind us that the reason why I don't want to trade I don't want to trade Jonathan, right? Is because I remember the Victor Zambrano trade.
Oh my God!
You remember the Victor Zambrano trade?
Do I remember it? I remember
we traded Scott Kazmir. You remember Scott Kazmir?
Yeah, Scott. Which, by the way, was another person that was raised in the farm to be one thing and turned into being in the farm ace, and could have been even way more if he stayed here.
Yeah,
Victor Zambrano.
Yeah.
And all I remember about Victor Zambrano was this: when he ran off the field after he popped that arm, and he ran into the dugout.
Yep.
I remember. Wow. Yeah, that's a good call. That's definitely a good call.
But we are considering conversations of, the Brandon Sproat, he will be a nice number 2. Blah blah blah. Are you serious? Do you know how difficult number 2s are to get?
Right. And how much they cost? And
how much they cost? Yeah.
Nope. A good number 2, pardon the interruption. A good number 2 could the real number 2s should be able to pitch the first game of the World Series.
Right. Yep.
Especially if it's away and we want to get a lead, and when we come home, have our number 1 be in the rotation.
Yeah. Starting game 3, a closeout game, or a deciding game.
Or a deciding game. Yeah.
Do you remember what the Mets got in return for Paul Wilson? You remember the era?
Of course I do. You're talking about Jason Isringhausen,
Bill Pulsifer, Paul Wilson. Yep.
Paul Wilson.
Yep.
And what was my other man's name? We just talked about this the other night.
Yeah.
PR. Give me time to say it. I'll remember. But Jason Isringhausen, do you remember that? Isringhausen. Do you remember that he came back to us?
Yeah, I remember.
He was actually an efficient
closer
for us.
Yeah.
All right, shoot the other name. I'm gonna kick myself, but
Paul Wilson was traded for. I can't remember who he's traded for. Rick White. You remember the Rick White Turk Wendell era? The dude with the conch shells, number
I remember
99.
Turk Wendell.
Yeah.
Rick White.
Yeah, he was there that same time.
Sound like
that run to the World Series.
Yeah. Rick White sound like a character out of Coming to America. I don't Rick White.
Rick White. Right.
Ricky? I don't yeah. The Paul Wilson. Yeah, but we raised them. They were like, there wasn't such excitement in the air for the three of them.
Yeah. And they came up one at a time. Right. I mean, right. not year by year, but we brought like one up and one made it out of spring training. Yep. One was here by June, and then another was here after the trade deadline. And then you got to see, and then the September call-ups, and then you brought the other three young pitchers up. I forget their names. They didn't, in the grand scheme of things, I don't think they stayed. But the promise of like that group of 6 or 7 young pitchers, all of them aged like 22 to 25. And you're like, golly, bro, we're going to be the Braves.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Surprise. The front office started dealing them away for like.
Yeah, exactly.
Our front office is like, the Braves don't win World Series. They only won one. Who wants to be in first place for 15 years and only have one World Series? I'd take that.
Yeah, really.
Like,
right about now, I think that, yeah.
You know?
But remember one thing about him, man. They was number one, man, for like,
oh, man.
Ever. And I remember when they were, when we were good, they were the opposite.
Yeah.
They had one really, really good player on that team.
Right.
Dale.
Yeah. He might have been the best player in baseball at that time too, by the way.
He was, Mr. Murphy. He was called. He was sure was close to it. But when Atlanta finally got their stuff together, you know what it was? It was because they didn't just have John Smoltz and Glavin and Avery. Remember Avery?
I remember Steve Avery.
Steve Avery.
Yeah.
Steve Avery was like our the kid that came up from Long Island, his grandfather that you just mentioned a few minutes ago, Matz, yeah. Steve Avery was like Matz.
Yeah.
That moved to get Maddox. Yeah. That and Maddox was the number one of that.
The Cubs were crazy. How do you let?
Oh my God!
Yo, he wins the Cy Young, and you let him walk.
And he reinvented himself. The man went from throwing 97 to 86.
Yeah, because strikes are more important. Strikes and movement is more important than locating a fastball.
That's right.
Right. Because if you locate, and this is one of the things, everybody, this is just like baseball stuff, right? If I know you are missing inside, right? Say your fastball is missing inside off the plate. You're trying to get the corner. The umpire won't give you the corner, right? Right. Say that that's the thing. I'm here, right? And you know that I'm a great, like most major league batters, middle end is their sweet spot, right? You can't mid-pitch a major league batter middle end, right? Because if you're a major league batter and you can't hit fastballs middle end, you're not a major league batter, period.
That's it.
Period. Right? Because it's science. It plays into that natural practice swing that you have. Like turning on that back foot and getting that launch You know what I'm saying? It plays right into that, right?
It's actually a dance move. When I learned it growing up and playing baseball,
Right.
they taught it as a salsa move. It was like a turn,
Yeah.
a hip
Yeah.
turn with your from your ankles to your hips.
Yeah. Yeah.
Has nothing
Yeah.
to do about lifting your leg or it's
Right.
boom.
Right.
So if you
Yeah.
have an opportunity to lift that leg, that ball is going to hit that sign you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. The manufacturer's handover sign. Yeah. But yeah. So the thing with Maddox, he learned like if you could start that ball off the plate and let it come back over the outside corner, batters tend to give up on that pitch because it looks too far outside. Right? If that ball starts in the batter's box, you're like, I'm not guaranteed. I'm not guaranteed that. And JJ, I saw this too. I think that where they play is like I don't know what it is about the air there.
Yeah.
But I think he also hit 8 home runs in like 30 games.
I'm about to say that it happened twice, JJ. Two
Yeah,
4
like
home run games.
yeah, I think
I believe.
I saw that. The thing though that impresses me is that he's actually putting the bat on the ball.
If he can learn how, if he stays doing that, Uncle Freezy, JJ, and the rest of the chat, if he does that, we may be looking at a leadoff hitter. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
The other tools are there. He just don't make
the rest is there.
bro.
He can play. He's got the glove. He's got the speed. I don't even need him to hit 4 home runs in a game. He can hit 4. He can take the 4 and the other 4 the other day. Hit 8 for the year, but hit 275. Do that. If he can do that, 270.
He can hit, bro. If he hit 1 home run a week, that's 25 home runs.
Yeah,
that's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Because the season, okay, you start probably at the end of March, but you got April, May, June, July, August, September. That's 6 months with 4 weeks in it, right?
Yeah.
That's 24, 25 home runs if it's once a week.
Yeah.
But I don't think he can. I don't think he's that guy. And then plus this draft class coming up is full of these ginormous athletic second base shortstop products.
Who can run like Ray is.
Right.
Yeah.
We're looking at this draft class at the top, say the top 200, 300 players in the draft is loaded with these guys that can play shortstop, second base. These guys are like 6 foot, 6'1", 6'2", couple of 6'3" guys in there that can glove and hit for power and run. The Acuna type, and no disrespect to Acuna, the 5'7", 5'8", 5'9" second baseman that runs really fast and plays great defense. Every draft, every year is loaded with those guys. Yeah. No disrespect. Right?
They used to last in the 80s, in the 90s. Like the Ray Ordonez, but he had a glove, like that type of thing. They were like,
oh, Ray Ordonez, bro. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I love Ray Ordonez, bro.
He might be he may be my. Well, I'm not gonna even bring it up yet because I got a bunch of different favorites, But he that was the best fielding player I've ever seen play, infielder.
Right.
And I've also seen Keith Hernandez play.
Yeah. I was gonna say, what are we talking? Ray Ordonez, Keith Hernandez. I mean,
two different positions. How about that? We'll give shortstop, fielding shortstop.
Yeah.
And I've seen a lot of good. We've been blessed. We came up in eras where you had your Ozzie Smith, you had Sean Dunston, you had
Gary Templeton.
Oh my God,
Gary Templeton's.
Yeah.
You had what's the guy that played in Oakland? It wasn't Walt Weiss. You had your Walt Weiss type guy.
Remember Walt Weiss, short and second, and he was nice at both.
Yeah. You had your Bill Russell with the Dodgers, the tall shortstop before Cal Ripken.
Cal Ripken, about to say that. Yeah. Cal Ripken.
Your Bucky Dents. You had a bunch of defensive guys, man.
Yeah, really good defensive guys.
Yeah.
Really
one very underrated shortstop, bro. The Mets had a dude. He might be the second, or Bud Harrelson is probably the second best defensive shortstop we ever had, right?
Oh, I can't wait to hear when I do that.
But the third best defensive shortstop is Rafael Santana.
Santana.
Yeah. He just couldn't hit.
But that's what I'm saying. Those days, those people lasted because of defense. Right. Rafael Santana hit 8th. Imagine how bad it was. I was so against the DH coming to the National League. I'm not gonna front. I was.
Right.
I'm starting to think I'm old man, get off my lawn. I really am starting to believe that, because like the pitching clock and this other stuff and this stuff, like I don't know how I like some of it and I don't like some of it, but man.
Yo, I said Rafael Santana can't hit, right? His career batting average was 245.
And we wish some of them could hit. Check Ray Ordonez. So what I was finished saying
245 right now will probably get you to the All-Star game, bro.
It might get you 20 million.
Yeah.
Back then you would have him and then the pitcher would hit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Doc Gooden had more power than he did. Doc Gooden would hit like 3 home runs a year.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I'm just grabbing some.
No. I man, listen. I'm with you, bro. Basically, I said all of that to say this. The more you're around me, the more you'll learn. I believe in not making major trades unless it's a trade that is franchise changing. Like I don't like nibbling at the buffet, right? This is basically what I'm saying. Like I'm not gonna trade Jonah Tong and Brandon Sproat for the kid in Milwaukee. Nah, I'm not doing that. Why would I trade 2 great young controllable arms for one proven great arm that is about to hit free agency? Why would I do that? I just can't see. Now, I do understand that the Mets are not starving for arms, right? Understand that. I understand the Mets are in a different situation. The Mets are in a situation where they're not starving for arms, but at the same time, a major hole is finding your ace, right? But I don't want to do like the Blue Jays and trade franchises like the Blue Jays will throw Noah Syndergaard in a trade as the player to be named later. I don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you put a Noah Syndergaard in a trade? Noah Syndergaard at 21 is a player to be named later, right? I don't want to do that.
The throw-in.
Yeah. I don't want to do a trade like that. Like, I don't want to do a 33-year-old Carlos Beltran for a Zach Wheeler, because in the grand scheme of things, I hate to say it, but but the Mets benefited from it. Zach Wheeler may have a better overall career than Carlos Beltran. He may. I mean, when you look at the Beltran prime years, it looked like, I don't. But we didn't trade Beltran in his prime. We traded a 33-year-old Beltran. Most people don't even remember the year he spent in San Francisco.
That's
Jay,
so
you remember the San Francisco Carlos Beltran?
And then where'd he go?
The Yankees and St. Louis, I think, or something. In some kind of order, it's like San Fran.
I think St. Louis first, but
St. Louis, yeah.
You're right, 100%.
Yeah, but during that time when he's in St. Louis, Zach Wheeler is cutting his teeth with the 2015 Mets.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like if you ask me, like, hey man, just throw Jonah Tong in the train. Hell no. Right. I'll tell you what I will do though. I'll spend that money in free agency. That way I can have both. You know what I'm saying? I can have that way. I can legitimately have both. Because here's the thing, or here's my thing. I don't know what the identity of the Mets is going to be in 2026, right? Because you can't say defense and then say, but we got Polanco on first. The fuck? But that makes that we may as well have Vientos on first, in my opinion. You may as well have Vientos on first.
He's still taking practice there.
Yeah. 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 The one thing, if we're talking about trading major young arms and deals, I have to go Julio Rodriguez, Fernando Tatis. If you're not talking like big game hunting, I'm not even. You ever heard of medium game hunting?
Medium game hunting?
Yeah, like teams of, no, we're not going to go big game hunting. We're going to go medium game hunting.
No, I've never heard that in my life.
Hell no, because it don't make sense, right? Why would I include Brandon Sproat in a deal that does not return an elite problem solver for the Mets, right? Because
with years on them, or with one time. He's got to have at least one. For me, if I'm trading Sproat, the guy has to have this year and next year at least.
Right.
For me.
But these teams are not going to do that, bro.
No, they're not.
That doesn't fit their timeline. The reason why these dudes are even available is because these guys are going to leave in free agency anyway. These guys are going to legit change their agent to Scott Boras in the last year of their contract, right? And they're not going to negotiate with the team. They're going to cut the team off, right? And then they're gonna skate into free agency, and the team is gonna have no other recourse but to trade them.
That's it.
Right? And so why would I trade for a guy that's gonna do that? Why would I trade away? Think about this. Why would I trade, say, for Tarek Skubal, who I like, by the way? Right? Say, why would I trade Tarek Skubal for Tong, Sproat, and the young center field that we have, Carson Benj? Why would I give up Carson Benj, Sproat, Tong, and maybe Ryan Clifford? Or not even Ryan Clifford, but maybe Mark Vientos and Acuna. Let's just say Mark Vientos and Acuna, right? Why would I give up all of that for Tarek Skubal and then wonder all year about if this dude is going to resign?
Right. Or if he's going to go to the Dodgers for
or the Braves.
Or the worse, the Phillies or the Braves.
Yeah. You feel me? Now you gave up all that prospect capital, and this dude played 1 year with you, and now he's gonna be locked up for 6 years with your division rival.
Yeah, I can't see myself doing that.
And that's what I'm saying. I just can't see going down that road. But if you're David Stearns, by now you haven't pushed forth an answer or a solution to what it is that we need exactly, or um haven't even addressed what our issues are. Because the thing is, there's one thing, playing things close to the vest, right? When you play things close to the vest, you always have an escape hatch. You always have a golden parachute, because you could always say, we weren't going to do anything anyway. You can always say that when you don't say anything.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or you could say, hey, we didn't want to part with our young guys and such and such. Well, why didn't you say that in November? And if you say that in November, Mets fans will be like, okay, all right. We can get to know and be more accepting of the young guys that we have in place, if that's the case, right? But I know I'm all over the place with it. And JJ says, I want a solid righty, good feeling first baseman
Right.
to balance the lineup.
So, if you don't mind, let me have, because there's something that you said too. Have you ever heard? And then I want to hit that note on with JJ for a moment. Have you ever heard this? The silence is deafening.
Yeah.
That's what I feel is going on with the Mets right now.
Right.
The silence is deafening. Think about that, Chad. It's so quiet. It's making you deaf.
Right.
But if we're going to pick up, because I totally agree with getting a solid right-handed hitter to mix up the lefties in that we have, for sure. The Sotos, the Beatties. So his question is, if we get Bellinger or Tucker, we still need that solid right. And I actually think that because his average is solid and his yearly annual payment AAV is solid, like low-ish, that Yandy Diaz is the perfect person to put in that the lineup. Now remember, I do think that the reason why they're quiet is because what they're not telling us is something that they're telling us. Follow me on this. They're not talking a lot because I truly believe that this year is prospect year. Until proven otherwise. What else could it be? If they're not saying for sure, because you cannot go out and get me a JD Davis. No, thank you. That's low game hunting.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. It's exciting. It is. But we were 2 years out of being 2 games away from the World Series and a year out of hurting our own self a game from the playoffs.
Right. Hey, can I just interject something just real quick?
Of course.
We are one healthy Sean Manaea away from playing the Yankees in the World Series. Right? We don't remember how, like, the Yankees got dominated in the World Series. The Mets were on fire going into the World Series. Right?
Gentleman's sweep.
Yep. Bro, if we had because I'm gonna say a blast from the past, but a blast from the recent past. Bro, Luis Severino at times in that 2024 year, bruh.
Stud.
Bruh. You hear me? Chat. Y'all hear me? Y'all remember Luis Severino for us?
Yeah. Yeah.
And but here's the thing. Luis Severino was a cast off when we signed him. Remember he was a cast off from the Yankees?
Yeah.
And we revitalized his career? Or let me not take credit for his work. He revitalized his career here with the Mets. Right? Yeah. It's one of the things, man. As soon as free agency started, Oakland like offered him the bag off the rip. We didn't even get a chance, really. You know? But Sean Manaea legitimately ran out of gas. And I'm not mad at Sean Manaea because in theory he carried him and Lou Severino carried the rotation. That's why the bullpen didn't look as bad as it looked last year because they faced. And you remember Sean Manaea in 2024 in big games, bro?
Yep. He had an incredible season.
Yeah.
And game 6 against a bullpen team.
Right.
Remember the Dodgers threw a bullpen team against us.
But because their ace would be ready in game 7 is what they were banking on.
And we threw what our ace was at the
game
time
6
to stay in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he kind of ran out of smoke and fire, and we just couldn't hit that day, but we're that close still, like.
Right.
So how do you hear on the regular basis, and I hear it always. I read it and I'm hearing it. Now, I don't take my news from just because it's on the screen or just because you're on the radio. I don't do that. It's got to be one or two guys, a passing, somebody like
Salmon.
that.
Maybe a Salmon.
Yes.
Will Salmon. Yeah.
Will Salmon. Yeah. But how do you go from I am 100% sure that the Mets will get at least one power hitter and one solid starter to crickets.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, the silence is deafening.
Right. I would say this, and this is to my guy JJ. JJ, if you want to mix up the lineup, if you want to, left, right. In my opinion, I don't believe in it as much as others. the left, right, left, right, left, right. I know some people live by it. I don't necessarily live by. I know I play baseball, right? So I know that a righty facing a lefty, right? Basically, so as a right-handed hitter, you get like that extra few milliseconds in order to see the baseball, right? The only thing though is what happens when you face righties, because there are probably more righty starting pitchers than there are lefty starting pitchers.
That's
Right.
not a problem. That's a big,
Right.
vast.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So what happens when you get your righty versus righty matchups? All right. And then also at the same time, some guys just hit better off of certain pitchers, whether they're left-handed or right-handed. Right? Like for instance, guys, left-handed batters like Larry Walker, John Kruk, those guys could not even stay in a box with Randy Johnson.
Remember when he ducked? He was so scared of him in the All-Star game.
That man crapped his pants, bro.
Yo,
that man had chocolate milks all over his pants, bro.
He waddled back to the dugout. He waddled back.
Right. But then there were guys like Mark McGwire that faced Randy Johnson, and Mark McGwire was like, if you throw anything straight, I'm gonna park it.
Yeah.
Like legit, Mark McGwire used to make Randy Johnson eat his fastball. Randy Johnson had to throw that man sliders. Anything straight, Mark McGwire was giving out souvenirs, right? Anything straight, right?
Sure.
And so that's why what I'm gonna offer to you is this. What I'm gonna offer is this. Nico Horner, that's your solution, right? I understand Marcus Semien is an upgrade defensively at second base, but he's not in the stratosphere with Nico Horner right now. Nico Horner may possibly, right? I'm just gonna say possibly. Nico Horner may be the best defensive second baseman in the game. Possibly. Right? He can play short, he can play second. I would say if you have prospect overload, like if you have to move some prospects, right? Then Nico Horner should be the guy. They just signed a guy to replace him, basically.
Yeah, he's definitely on the market to move.
Right. This is you could get him with cheap prospects. I'm almost certain you can get him with Acuna and something. And play him at second and have Semien at third. It's the natural transition. Semien is a great glove man, right? You can play him at third. Now, but here's the thing. I don't think Marcus Semien's defense at third base may be better than Brett Beatty, who, while he's not, listen, Brett Beatty is not, what's my guy from St. Louis? Nolan Arenado. He's not Nolan Arenado, right, at third base. He's not Manny Machado at third base, right? But he's been showing you over the years, once you settle him, once he gets settled, he can be a glove guy. Now, he's not the guy from Philadelphia. He's not Charlie Hayes' son. He's not Ke'Bryan Hayes, right, at third, right? But Ke'Bryan Hayes is not Brett Beatty in the batter's box. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like these things. If you have a the left right thing, if that's a concern, I'm saying Nico Horner is the thing. Now, and here's the thing though, Jay. I'm not batting him second, fourth, fifth. I'm batting him ninth. But right in front of Francisco Lindor. Right? So you go right. So basically what it looks like is right, switch, left. So it's Horner, Lindor, Soto. right? 912, right? And here's the thing. In 2025, Nico Horner batted 297 with an on-base percentage of 345, right?
Yeah.
But what I also want to tell you is this. I'm going to say this to you, and it's going to sound like I just told a lie. But I promise you it's not a lie, right? I'm gonna say something to you. The stat is gonna be so crazy. You think I'm gonna be BSing you, right? So Nico Horner last year stole 29 bases, right?
Yep.
Guess what that man's strikeout rate is? Somewhere in the 20s is acceptable nowadays, right?
Yeah,
Now,
somewhere in the 20s is about it.
about the limit. You don't want anything over 20. Kyle Tucker's strikeout rate was 14.7,
Right.
right?
And Schwarber probably was
26 or so, something like that.
something like that.
What if I told you Nico Horner's strikeout rate or strikeout percentage is half of what Kyle Tucker's strikeout rate is? So if Kyle Tucker walks 14% of the time and strikes out 14% of the time, right? Basically 15% of the time for both, right? Nico Horner walks 6% of the time, but strikes out 7.6% of the time. In today's baseball, bro, this dude strikes out less than 10% of the time. Right? So basically, he's going to put the ball in play most of the time ahead of Lindor and Soto.
Yep.
Can we even understand, like, can we imagine a world where most of the time Juan Soto comes up, there's a runner on first or second?
That's right.
Can we imagine a world where you have to pitch to Juan Soto?
That's why you go out and get Horner and Diaz for a low. Together, they don't combine to a certain thing price wise. And now this guy hits 300, and you could put him right in the middle of that.
Yeah.
That's a sidebar off the Horner talk. I'm just saying.
Yandy Diaz's K rate is 14.1. For a big guy, right? Because I think Diaz is a big guy, right?
Diaz is
about
6'1",
635.
Yeah. And Horner stole like almost 50, I thought, the year before, right? Something like 49, something like that.
Bro, can you imagine having to throw fastballs to Lindor because Horner's on base?
He might hit 40.
Bro, when it comes to like roster construction, like when it comes to the thing with Diaz is this, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I understand your point about Diaz. These dudes that are like 34, 35 years old, and something bothers me. It's not like an ageism thing. It's just I don't know when they're gonna hit their fall off. Right? Like I don't know. Like the guy we had, the was it JD Martinez? Was it JD Martinez we had one year? Was that JD Martinez we had ahead of Vientos? And he was like the doubles king for like 3 years before that.
He had like 40. He was like a monster the year before he came to us.
Right. But all of a sudden, bro, it's like all of a sudden. And for me, I'm not gonna lie to you.
And then
I think I'm sorry, go ahead, bro.
No, that they did something to the wiring outside my house for the other people.
Okay.
And ever since then, the computer. Anyway, keep it rolling. My bad.
Yeah, my thing is I do like the Yandy Diaz thing. Everyday first base.
Bridge.
What do you do with Polanco?
DH.
What do you do with Vientos?
Trade.
What are you getting for Vientos then?
Horner.
So what do you do with Horner?
Corner.
Then what do you do with Beatty?
Backup.
Oh no! You bench a 25-year-old third baseman.
How about first? How about this then? I really believe this, and I'm gonna say this with all my heart. I don't know if JJ believes it. I don't know if the rest of the chat believes it. I don't know if you believe this, but the man to me looks like a first baseman.
Who, Beatty?
Yep.
Okay.
He looks more capable of playing first than Vientos does, in my mind.
Okay.
Now, if you pull a Horner trade, then you got to really get to work with him at first base,
Right?
because you haven't done any work with him there.
Right.
But do we have a guy in the minors that we could stick there? Maybe a guy named
Acuna.
Yeah, could. He's a little small for first, though.
Oh, I thought you meant. No, I thought you meant.
Oh,
infield.
at third.
No, I thought you meant infield because I could see. No, I don't want to. No, I don't want any. The short players, I'm not a huge fan of, and I know these guys can't help it. This is me being
Right.
dumb about height, right?
The isms today.
Yeah, but the thing is historically, conventionally, we think first baseman is going to be some guy 6'1", 6'2", 6'3", 6'4", on first base. And when I think first base, I think Tino Martinez. I think Tony Perez. Like Tony Perez, Chris Chambliss, Tino Martinez.
I hate to say it, but the guy that just left,
Pete Alonso, right?
Yeah.
When I think Pete Alonso, I think DH.
Me too, though. So that. I agree with you. I don't think he was a great first baseman, but yes. How tall was Olerud? I think
6'3"-ish.
Yeah, 6'3"-ish. That's who I think of.
I think I also think about you remember Wally Joyner?
Yeah, Wally Joyner, wasn't he on the California Angels?
Yeah. I think he was second in Rookie of the Year with Mark McGwire.
Yes.
Yeah. Wally Joyner can play some baseball, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I think when I think first base, I think Will Clark, Keith Hernandez.
Will Clark.
Yeah.
That team. I think Will Clark. I think Mark Grace.
Mark Grace. Hell yeah.
With Ryan Sandberg right next to him.
Yep. And the other guy you mentioned, the shortstop, Sean Dunston.
And Sean Dunston as short. And they had who the hell played third? Because there was a guy who played third.
It depends on what iteration, because there was a couple of years where Ron Say played third base for them after he left the Dodgers, and then there were some years where Matlock from the Pirates played over there, third base.
Mm-hmm.
And then there were some years where they had going into the 90s, they had a great third baseman over there, and I just can't remember.
That's what I'm saying. There was a stud over there at third that played. He was like an all-star.
Right. But if we're thinking traditionally third base for the Cubs, it's got to be Ron Santo. Like Ron Santo and Mr. Cub at shortstop. I keep forgetting his name.
Sean Dunston?
Who was it?
Dunston?
No, Mr. Cub. Ernie Banks.
Ernie Banks. Third,
yeah.
Ernie Banks. Yeah.
That's what I think when I generally think Cubs baseball, bro. They have a great baseball history, though they don't have a large success in winning, but they do have the Cubs over the years have been an exciting team to watch historically because they know how to do storylines. They make you fall in love with the franchise, right? Like you fall in love with the stadium that they play in. You fall in love with the division that they play in. Their rivalries are like dope rivalries.
Really
Right?
dope ones.
Yeah,
Fall in
like
love with the Ivy.
yeah, all these things. You fall in love with simple stuff like, oh, they have lights now. Like people are in love with. I'm going to a Cubs night game.
Yo, they were so what's the word, obstinate, that they didn't have lights through the 90s.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
It was always a 2:20 game. Always.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
I
I
would run
remember that
home from school to catch the rest of the game. Like
on TBS.
yes.
On TBS. Yeah. Yeah. They had a great announcer, Harry Carey.
Harry
Yeah.
Carey.
Yeah. So they had. So yeah, when you listen to, so it's easy to be a Cubs fan. And in a way, it's easy to be a Mets fan now because you have all these things. You have the formula for being the greatest franchise, not only in baseball, but in sports or in North American sports. Let me restate that. I'm going to back up a little bit before I jump off the cliff. But the Mets have the recipe to be the greatest franchise in North American sports in that on the base level, they have a great face of the franchise in Francisco Lindor.
Right.
And a great running mate in Juan Soto.
Yep.
Right. Then you also have the Wrigley Field type energy where those guys across town, they wear black and white. Now, mind you, if this story sounds familiar, if this sounds like Chicago, this is kind of like a parody on Chicago. Those guys across town wear black and white and they play. And when you watch them, it's like watching black and white, right?
Mm-hmm.
But over here, we wear loud colors and we party.
Right. We party. And we're not too good to put our names on our back.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And we want you to be a part of the game. Right. We want you to feel like a part of it. We want you to feel like you have an impact. That's the difference between watching the Mets and the Yankees. Because when you watch the Yankees, the spirit of Babe Ruth is going to will us to victory. Yeah. Joe DiMaggio, right? We have all those ghosts in center field with plaques. And the Mets are like, by the third inning, I'm going to be on my second beer. Right? That's what this game is like. Right? And so you couple that also with the Yankees historically having the richest owner or the richest ownership in baseball, right? With now letting the world know, not only do you not have the richest ownership in baseball, y'all might be like 12th.
Yeah, I'm about to say you're not even close anymore.
Right.
Yep.
Right. And then not only were y'all used to having a maverick owner that meddled, right now his sons grew up in that corporate atmosphere and they're super corporate. Meanwhile, Steve Cohen is like, the Nationals said they'll offer Scherzer 41 over 2 years. We'll offer him 43. Tell him we'll do 43.
Yeah, we'll do 43.
Yeah, we'll do 43.
Yeah. And they said 44. Tell him we'll do 46.
We'll do 46.
He's just that guy,
right? And meanwhile, everybody else in the major leagues was capped out at 38.
Right.
Remember when Scherzer got to 36, people were like, "Yeah, I'm out."
Right.
There's no way he's going to get 38 million.
Right.
And somebody fell in love, was like, "Yeah, we'll give him 41. We'll cut the check 41." He was like, "Let's see what the Mets do." I was like, "Hey, we'll do 43. What? And we'll add on the extra year.
Yeah. Right.
We'll give you what you want." Right. And it's not just because it's Verlander. It's not because it's Scherzer. It's because we have an owner that wants what he wants. when our owner wants a certain thing, he's gonna pay for it. He don't care.
And he grew up a Mets fan in Long Island.
Yeah.
And he's rich. And not only are they not the richest team in baseball, they're so far away from being the richest team in New York.
Right. Right.
Which probably does a bunch of things to them. And they're still buttoned up.
Yeah.
And Cohen, who is way richer than them, comes to the ballpark in his Mets cap and a pair of jeans.
Right. Right. And talks to the people.
And talks to the people.
Right.
And put up the receiver and did everything that was asked. And
I don't. Yeah, bro.
Say it again?
No, my bad, guy.
Oh, that's all good. You know, retiring, bringing back Doc, bringing back people like that. You know, it's to me, he's definitely like all that talk, right? Or David Wright, you know, who just like, you know, if Ike Davis wasn't there, we would probably took that. I don't want to talk about that right now, but
yeah.
You know, listen, this man's giving us this nostalgic like field with the biggest Megatron old like transformer like freaking screen and if you all you out there think that the narrative of a casino is the reason why we didn't sign Pete Alonso, then I really think that you got to go recheck that because this man wants to win.
Right.
Throws blank checks out there.
Right. Right.
I think the guy that we need to look at is David Stearns.
David Stearns.
Yep.
That's what we need to look at.
Yep.
That's who we need to look at, bro.
Yep. And who he needs to look at is the other Stearns that retired from the other sport. Take a few pages out of his book and say, you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I know it's totally two different positions, but my point being, like, enough is enough.
Right. Hey, man, this Yandy Diaz dude, I'm looking at his numbers. His advanced fielding numbers look weird to me, bro.
He is not. All right, so there's two guys.
Whatever he does, he's an improvement over Pete. Let's just establish that period.
Yeah.
If he just shows up at first base with his shoestrings tied, he's better than Pete at first base. Period. Right.
And that might hurt people's feelings, but it's the truth.
Right.
It's the truth.
Right.
His roundabout average through his career is 300.
Right.
So I like him just for that. And like you said, if he shows up at first base, it's automatically a little bit better.
Right.
So, you take that. And even though Christian Walker's had a couple of good years of mashing the baseball and gold gloves, what I'm saying about these guys are they're just bridges. To me, these are not guys that are staying around.
Right. No, we don't want them staying.
I wish Ketel Marte was a first baseman.
Yeah. Right.
That's the type of guy. He might know how to. Well, then there goes Brett Beatty again if I bring him in and we move people around. But I think it's going to be I really do. I think I still believe in my heart. This is what I'm going to say. We're going to get a bat or two.
Okay.
They might be one medium. I think Horner is not a medium with his skill set. I think he is a non. So you're not getting him for home runs. You're getting him for defense, speed,
in contact.
and contact, and the availability to be multitasking
Right.
throughout the infield.
Right.
If you could do that, and then also pull in, you know, like I don't want to overpay Suarez, even though he hit 49 home runs. I'm not giving up my farm for him. I'm not. I would think about a handful of people, though. No, there's no doubt about it. You would have to ask me who it is.
He's a righty, though, right?
He's a righty. He's a Gold Glove first baseman. He's a multi-Gold Glove, and he's your type of guy. But the difference between, because he's 6'4", or he's large. I think is he that big?
Suarez, is he? I thought he was a third baseman.
First base Gold Glove.
Okay.
Multi, and he only hits 240, and last year 27 home runs. Listen to this though: 88 RBIs, 177 strikeouts. He hit almost 30 home runs every year for the last 4 years. He's had 30 or more, or close to 30 or more.
Right.
But every year for the last 5 years, he's hit over 100 got over 100 strikeouts, and 3 of those years were over 130. One was 177.
Right. I'm looking at all these numbers, bro, for all these players that we're mentioning. I still think Swaggy could do what these guys do.
So you're putting him
on first base.
Okay. So there's
because he's got a cannon for an arm, bro. But he's juggling chainsaws at third base, bro. Like the way he comes in on the, but he's not
juggling chainsaws.
Yeah, bro. He's not a third baseman, bro. He's not a.
That's cool.
And no disrespect to Swaggy, who I love. I want Swaggy to stay a Met, bro. And my thing is Beatty has the natural footwork around the bags. Like, Beatty's more of a infielder than Vientos, because Vientos can play. I mean, Beatty can play second and third. So you already know his footwork on the infield is better. You don't play second base if you're not able to get your footwork right on contact. Right.
And be able to turn double plays.
And be able to do, and be able to think the game. Yep. Right. I think what we'll wind up seeing is, I think they're going to make a play for Tucker. Right. I think we're probably the leader in the clubhouse for Tucker, but that doesn't mean you'll land him. It just means you're the leader in the clubhouse. Then plenty of guys have been a leader in the clubhouse and lost, right?
Yeah.
I think they really want Carson Bench in center, right?
Definitely.
The thing is if what can you get from Beatty, Vientos, Acuna, Mauricio, Jet Williams, Carson Bench? That's a lot of young talent, bro. Alvarez also.
Alvarez, yeah.
Because the thing is if Alvarez can stay healthy, he is your right-handed power bat, hands down. None of the guys we mentioned has more raw power than Alvarez. Suarez, none of them have more raw power than Alvarez, right? It seems like they do because they're better hitters than Alvarez, and that's because they have more MLB service time and they're older, right?
Yep.
But what happens when Alvarez becomes your everyday catcher, playing 130 games behind the plate and getting 600 at bats, right? Think about this. Think about so we didn't see Pete Alonso's raw power until age 25. Alvarez just turned 23. It's food for thought. Like why would we improve over a certain guy when guys didn't necessarily get these chances? And one could also say that advanced analytics and Carlos Mendoza screwed Mark Vientos last year. The formula the year before was deal with Mark Vientos' shortcomings and his bat will make up for the rest. And you wind up in an NLCS with a chance to go to the World Series. Then last year, you moved around this playing time. We got to improve the defense, man, and you missed the playoffs. And Mark Vientos had a down year.
And not only that, but you send him down to the minors because he didn't get 27 home runs immediately.
Out of the box. Yeah,
out of the box. Just because he started off slow, he's got to go back down now.
Yeah,
you ruin somebody like that. I don't want to talk some other sports here, but that's like kind of putting somebody in for 2 minutes thinking that they could get
right. Yeah. No doubt about it. I agree. I agree.
Thank you. And where they don't get the groove on, they yanked.
Yeah. No doubt about the pressure was on in 2025 because we felt like we were in shouting distance of the Dodgers. Right?
Yeah.
But we were not in shouting distance of the Dodgers.
No, we weren't.
We were a talented team that played with a lot of chemistry. You look at the OMG year, like the OMG Mets, and then going into 2025, you take the OMG out and don't bring him back. And then you expect to build on OMG.
And trade the OMG out for this big, humongous flip-flop because you think you still, that might help it. It wasn't just the OMG sign. It was the OMG energy.
You're right.
It was the energy, the cohesiveness. It was the trumpets playing. It was the everything that year.
Everything. And one could say, one could seriously say, man, you lost out maybe on the greatest closer in Mets history, right? Because you tinkered with the OMG energy.
Yep.
He didn't even give you a chance. Like
not a callback.
Free agency started. Diaz is a Dodger, and he's in LA with a Dodgers jersey on. Wait a minute, what?
Yep.
Yeah.
There was that really hurt. Apparently, there was no callback. Just but that was like after they found out that he got offered the numbers.
Right.
So they didn't offer him nothing, and then at last second, that's like tempting your girl. Go ahead and leave.
No, go ahead to that bachelorette party. Do you?
Yeah, do your bounce then.
Yeah.
Then she does. And then you run out, and she gets in some other dude's car, and that's it.
Yeah.
It's over.
And you're like, wait, what happened?
I didn't mean that.
Yeah.
I didn't mean that.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a very interesting guy that like there's a couple things that I think that we, thank God we didn't have to give our number one up for Edward Cabrera, but there was an interesting guy that I was looking at that I wanted to, and guess who picked him up from the minor leagues? And his name is Patrick Wisdom. He plays first base and third base for the Cubs. He did for the Cubs.
Did, right? Yeah.
And salute to Joe. And I liked him when people were hurt. He was smashing home runs. And he could play first and third. And I thought maybe an invite, because you never know what an invite might do.
Right.
And he goes to a place where, guess who they just lost over at third base? Or, we don't know yet. Maybe they'll get him back, but I'm just saying it seems like if they were going to get him back, they would have got him back, right? So, and they smart move on picking up that kid. I tell you, he's got some serious potential. But I will say I do like Horner. Nico has got a good game. He's got a great glove.
He may be the best defensive glove man in baseball, possibly.
He's definitely in that talk.
Yeah. And that's what we've been talking, right?
Yep. Definitely. Defense.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's what they've been talking.
Yeah, well, yeah. One of the things that I would say also, and thank you to everybody in the chat. Shout out to the chat. If this is your first time being here, and I would say consider hanging around. We talk a lot of Mets. We do not just break news, but we do the talk the Mets logic. We do the fan stuff. Like this is like we legit will speak about everything from pitching rotation, prospects, lineups, grass, dirt, pine tar, wood, cleats, management, strategy, front office, owner, all of that stuff. So if this is your first time here, just come through and hang out. If you like baseball, this is the place for you, right? Because while I never played minor league baseball, right? I never played professional baseball. I did play baseball though, and I love it. Right? I like talking about bats. I like talking about gloves, whether it's a pocket glove or a neck glove. You know how like infield? Did you see infielders with certain gloves, right? And you like certain. So I like talking glove lengths, certain glove styles. If you're a third baseman, do you prefer a deep pocket or a shallow pocket? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do you prefer a bigger glove where you can, have the glove help you? Do you like a smaller glove because you have good hands?
Yeah.
Right.
Second base style, like a second baseman with a small glove.
With a tiny glove, yeah. Shortstop with maybe a tiny glove, maybe a little bit longer for those balls you can't reach or whatever.
Right.
If you're a third baseman, do you want a bigger glove with a deeper pocket because balls get hit so hard directly at you? You want to, and then the trade-off is when you reach in there to find it, the transfer is not always
right.
So I love talking about stuff like that.
I like the stitches in the baseball.
Yeah.
I want to feel it with how the baseball's made.
Yeah.
I like to put just the edge of, if I have any nail at all inside of there to see if something like Mike Scott was really doing something. Could have did
Oh,
that
he was
really
scuffing
work?
baseballs, bro.
There's no doubt
Yeah, he
about it.
was
And he
scuffing
wasn't
baseballs.
using his fingernails. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, that man was scuffing baseballs, bro.
Yeah. But I love that too. I love all the aspects. I love the rally cap. We talk about the rally cap here.
Yeah.
We're fans through and through.
Yeah.
So you're not just tuning into
news.
Mets news.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like a family sitting around.
Exactly.
A family sitting around talking about our favorite team.
Blade said nothing like fighting the sun to catch those pop-up. Yep, exactly. Especially if you play in a sun field. Like if you play in like left field up the third baseline, the sun will be like right there. The catcher won't go out there because you know how like when the pop-up down the line starts, the catcher will run that way. Your pitcher will drop down to cover home, right? Because you want to have your best gloves going to the ball. And when you see the catcher, like, nah, man, you can have this. You're like, it's the sun because he's running into the sun, right? You ever notice why they had that reflector on the top of their helmet, the catcher's mask sometimes? Looks like the little rainbow, the reflector thing on the top of the catcher's mask at times. The sun, bro.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah.
You know why this is over here, right?
Black. Yeah.
So, listen, my favorite thing ever, and I used to rock them back in the days. I ain't afraid to tell you that I wore my overalls with one of them off. Right, I had those days in my history with the overalls one off because I saw Kevin Mitchell with them one off, and I had about 5 pairs of the flip glasses. There was one sunshade, one for the sun, one with red glasses. Yeah. I think they messed
I got
my
that from
eyes
Ron
up.
Sandberg. Ron Sandberg was the first person I saw with that.
Yeah, you know what? Was it Ryan Sandberg that I first saw? Was that?
It was.
I think
was
so
for
too.
me.
For me too, maybe.
It was for me, and the other guy was the guy from Cincinnati. I can't remember his name. Not Chris Sabo. Chris Sabo wore goggles. I'm talking about. There was another guy. I think I can't remember his name. But
from that team.
Yeah.
From the Eric Davis, Chris Sabo, Ozzie. Well, Ozzie was a little older at that point, right?
No, you're talking about Barry Larkin.
Barry Larkin.
That's what you're talking about, Yeah, man.
Lenny wore him for a little while.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I remember. I love before the the video checks and all that. The rundown, you're being in a pickle.
Yeah.
Talking about the pickle. Well, get out of there, get back, get out of there, get back. Yeah. Lenny Dykstra did one of these. They had him in there. Lenny Dykstra jumped up and forearmed it with his elbow away, right? And then looked at the ump like this. He went like this. Ow. And then touched home plate, right? and they called him safe. Man, I lost. That's what we love.
The Mets farm system was deep. You're talking about the Len Dykstra, Danny Heap, Tim Tuffle, Kevin Mitchell.
Right. That's right,
bro. You remember all those guys, bro?
And the back page would say Heap went deep. Yeah.
That's when Howard Johnson and Darryl Strawberry were the young vets. And they had young guys. But you remember when Mookie Wilson, Darryl Strawberry, who else was a young vet on that team? Mookie Wilson, Darryl Strawberry, and then behind them you had Kevin Mitchell, Tim Tuffle. What's the pure hair guy? We wasn't
Greg Jeffries. Greg Jeffries was a rookie.
Greg Jeffries, that's the one.
But he was a rookie on that team. He didn't last.
There was another guy we traded to Kansas City for the pitcher. Remember the pitcher we got from Kansas City?
Brett Saberhagen.
Yeah, we traded that young prospect for Brett Saberhagen.
Yeah. And he ended up winning, I believe, the batting title.
In
But
Kansas
then,
City. Yeah.
but then faded out.
And then faded out. Yeah.
Sounds like somebody we know recently.
It sounds like somebody we know recently, bro. You know too much. You know too much Met stuff, bro.
Yeah, and he played the same position.
yeah, same position, bro. That's my thing, bro. That's the thing. That's where I am right now. Like, I don't want to trade AJ Ewing. I don't want to trade Jacob Reimer, right? I don't want to trade Jet Williams, right? But the thing is you're gonna have a log jam, bro.
Yeah.
Because even if you keep all those guys, what are you going to do with Beatty, Vientos, Acuna, Mauricio? What are you going to do with them? Chat, let me ask y'all this. Which generation of prospects would you prefer to keep? Would you prefer to keep the Alvarez generation of Mets prospects, which includes Beatty, Vientos, Acuna, Mauricio, or would you like to keep the next gen? The next gen is Jet Williams, AJ Ewing, Jacob Reimer,
the guy going this year in the outfield,
Carson Bench. Like, which generation would you prefer to keep? Because I love the current. Now I'm not saying my preference is to keep current gen, but I love the current gen, bro. I love the potential of Ronnie Mauricio. Now, it's not realized, right? But we have to remember Mauricio is 2 years behind Beatty and all those guys due to injuries, right? So he had an injury early on, which messed up his swing, and then he had the lower leg injury, which had him out for the year. So he missed 2024, and I think he missed 2020. There was some other significant time that he missed due to injury. I can't remember exactly when. Right? Yeah. So I do love. I think I would love to see Vientos stay. Because Vientos, Swaggy has spark plug energy to your lineup, right? He has spark plug energy to your lineup, right? And Mark Vientos, people can number me to death, stat me to death all they want. But what I know is when a Met is facing Paul Skeens or Tarek Skubal or whoever, there are only 3 players on the 40-man roster that I feel like are not going to be overpowered by the elite pitchers, right? That's Soto, right? That's Lindor, and that's Swaggy, right? That's it. On the right now, I'm not saying Swaggy is a 300 hitter, is going to hit 50 home runs, 150 RBIs, steal 50 bases. What I'm saying is Paul Skeens is not going to throw the fastball by Swaggy, right? That's what I'm saying. In a fastball count, a fastball pitcher is not going to rear back and throw the ball by Swaggy. Now, in a fastball count, will a fastball pitcher throw the ball by Beatty? Yes. Right? Yeah. Is Beatty probably does Beatty have better pitch selection?
Discipline.
Yeah, yes, of course. Right? Like, Beatty is a more disciplined hitter, right? But I feel like at times in those Brett Beatty versus Zach Wheeler matchups, I don't have a good feeling. Whereas when I see Zach Wheeler versus Mark Vientos, I'm like, if he throws a fastball right here, it's gone.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
That's my thing. But the thing is I think Vientos is so comfortable in that at times he gets swag happy.
Swag happy. I've been there. I've been there, by the way. Most of my life, actually.
But yeah, right. You feel me? For instance, if Zach Wheeler is facing Ronald Acuna, in my mind, I'm thinking, put down a bunt right here. Don't even, bro. Don't even try. Don't hit into a double play. Right.
Yep.
That's my thing. You got to run on first. Acuna, just bunt right here, bro. Like, don't even mess this inning up.
Don't try to even put it a little bit over short. Forget about it.
Right. And my thing, and this is going to be disappointing for me to say. Right. This is disappointing for me to say. But when I say this, everybody, it's because I understand where we are with Francisco Alvarez. Right. I think Alvarez at the moment gets overwhelmed by elite pitching. Right. And it's because I think he's in his own head. Right. But if you mess around and get a junk arm out the bullpen and try to get sneaked down by Alvarez, bro, it's souvenir time. It's souvenir. I think Alvarez against elite pitching is a question mark at the moment. Right? At the moment, because of his approach. Not because the skill is not there. Because I think he's got the potential to be a fantastic hitter. Right? At the moment, though, I think he gets overwhelmed by elite pitching. And for the record, 98% of major league batters get overwhelmed by elite pitching. It's the reason why we call it elite pitching.
Yes.
Right? But when Swaggy, I think Swaggy is in that 2% where I saw him, oh my gosh, who was it? I saw him foul tip one straight back, and the ball got to the screen so fast, you could see the pitcher like, oh, shit, you could see the pitcher like, yo, I can't ever throw that pitch to him again. Like, he legit, like, I think the pitch was like 101 middle, and Vientos like fouled it straight back over the umpire's shoulder, like, the umpire was like, oh, ho, 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 ho.
Umpire had to change his drawers.
Yeah,
I'm out.
Yeah, and it's because, and then when you see, if you're a pitcher and you see a guy like Vientos foul your fastball straight back, you're like, bro, he was like 2 millimeters from hitting that ball to the South Bronx.
And I'm gonna tell you, I believe that he was in that zone during that tear.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna even talk about the next part of it. I want to stay right there for a minute.
Right.
He's in that zone. And we saw what he could do.
Right.
So they treat him very unfairly. You can't do that to somebody who was a major reason you got as far as you got in that year.
Yeah.
What I would like him to get the confidence of the ownership.
Right.
And just say, hey, you're here. You're going to be with us. You're not going down. I don't care if you mess it up. I don't care if you do this. We're not going to
every day
with you.
Own your craft. Right.
Yeah. Right. But you know what, JJ? I think he couldn't find consistency because they were too quick with the gun. They were too quick with the lasso. You know, you can't do it. All right, we're gonna put Beatty. Oh, Beatty, you can't do it. All right, we're gonna go get Vientos.
Right.
That's like a little unfair. And then to respond a little bit to Alvarez has one of the sweetest right-hand swings you ever seen. When he gets that ball in the right spot, and it's gone. But I think those injuries and then having them come back and then they DH him a little bit,
Right.
which is fine for a little while because Torrens was throwing people out with the highest percentage. But then you got to make him your everyday catcher again immediately, like 10 games in, 7 games in. Not 25 games.
Right.
So, you know.
Right.
So then we got to give him. So then, let's say, chat. Let's say we make no moves, and we keep everybody. Vientos plays first. You all right? Are we good with that? But we got to make. So we have to call up. Jet.
Okay.
Or to go with Benj. How many wins is that in your mind, Uncle Freeze?
My mind is a dangerous place, bro.
Oh God!
Every time, chat. My sports mind is a dangerous place. Like every time he asked me that question, as soon as he asked me a question, all I heard was a squeaky door. I know haunted house movies.
You're right. Like Freddie was pulling his claws on the locker, like no running in the halls.
Right. And so he okay. So
got to get a picture though with that, I guess. I'm talking about the hitters.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I believe in Carson Bench.
Yep.
I don't want to see him coming out of spring training though. I would not. I would, because the thing is, I don't think two things can be true at the same time on opening day. In real life, I believe two things can be true at the same time.
That's my logo.
Right.
Yep.
Right. But in out of spring training, I think you have to pick a direction and go. Right. I don't think you can sugarfoot it. Like, because if you are going in with veterans and you want to win, right, put veterans everywhere. Like bring in Harrison Bader to play center, right? If you have Kyle Tucker and Juan Soto as your outfield, you have to have a great defensive veteran center fielder. Like if you're going with Kyle Tucker and Juan Soto, practically you don't want to put a rookie center fielder there with them because now it's going to look like doofuses in the outfield. Because one guy wants to play right field for 5, 6, 7 more years, right? Right. And then on the other side, you have a guy that's a bat that is playing up to his potential of average right field. Now, if he's an average right fielder and you tell him to change positions, what does your baseball instinct tell you? That if he moves to the left, he's going to need some time to adjust to playing left field. Right. And so if you know one guy is poor in right field, the other guy is average but changing positions and maybe slightly worse until he gets acclimated there, would I really put a rookie in between them? Right. And so while I love Carson Bench, I'm not a Yankees fan. I'm a Mets fan. I love Carson Bench. But if we're talking about practicality, I got to have a veteran out there in between those two sluggers. Right. At least to start. Right.
Okay.
At least to start. Right. Okay. Carson Bench, for me, has to be playing elite center field in AAA and batting about 350 in AAA in order for me to consider bringing him up. And I'm not talking about all season, right? Because that's impossible. What I'm saying is in those first 30 games, can you bat somewhere between? Can you set AAA on fire through May?
I'll even give him 45.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, he sure did. He sure did.
Yeah. And so the thing is, am I looking for a Luis Robert to play instead of no, because he's a decent center fielder now, but he's not defensively what he used to be. Because on those White Sox teams, he had to carry them at the plate too, and it's tough being a two-way. So Jay Chosen, no, I say this all the time. It's tough being a two-way player in sports, right?
Yep. And
usually you get more of one than the other, but having both be elite at the same time, you're talking about a Hall of Fame level athlete, right?
Yep.
But what my thing is let Carson Bench start in AAA. Let Kyle Tucker get used to playing left field, right? And then if Carson Bench is indeed what he think he is in AAA, then we'll explore it with him as the fourth outfielder for a while, and then have him take over late in the season. That way you don't offend Harrison Bader, because we offended him before. Remember when we started sitting him because he was in a slump? We started playing Tyrone Taylor in center.
Well,
and then at the end of the season, he was gone. Like, he didn't even negotiate with the Mets. He just left and went to Philly and proved a point, right?
Yeah.
So, and so it's one of them things. Like, I'm thinking about, what if that ball gets hit over Lindor's head, and now you have Kyle Tucker and Carson Bench in the alleys? Or what if that ball's hit over Marcus Simeon's head? Or what if that ball's hit over Nico Horner's head, and now you have Carson Bench and Juan Soto tracking that ball in the alley? I don't want to play that Benny Hill music, bro. If that ball is hit out there on the grass, I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear that, bro.
I was about to play
it. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is respectfully, I like Carson Bench, and I enjoy this conversation. I'm a Mets fan, but I don't want to see my young pitching prospect, say it's Brandon Sproat, out there, runners on. Say he pitches 4 good innings, but he gives up a single. Then a guy comes up and hit 2 singles back to back, runners on first and third, and now a young pitcher on the fringe that needs confidence sees a ball hitting the gap, and now you hear the Benny Hill music, and now your young prospect pitcher is getting his ERA tore up because the defense is bad, right? Because we played too many young guys at one time, right? And so I know that sounds crazy, but at the same time, the Mets are in a situation where their owner can afford to pay Harrison Bader to come. It's not like in years past where we're like, there's no way we can go out and get Kyle Tucker, Cody Bellinger, or Harrison Bader, right? We have
Soto.
Right. We would have never got Soto, right? Basically, he'd have been like, yo, we have who we have. Make it work.
All right.
Right? And so to Blade, and I think JJ's point too, if Carson Bench forces his way up, then it's undeniable. But you know what happens too, though? You know what happens in that situation? In late game situations, now you could put you a defensive outfield in the outfield. You know what I'm saying? Like legitimately, you'll never take Juan Soto out of a lineup, and you don't want to take Kyle Tucker out of a lineup, right? But at the same time, at the same time, it does give you defensive flexibility because if Bader is as good in the outfield as we think he can be, and you still have Harrison Bader, then you can still have that be an outfit eighth inning substitution. You bring your closer in, you're also bringing in either Bader or Carson Bench for outfield defense, depending on where your batting order is, right? So say Juan Soto ended the inning in the eighth, top of the eighth, right? You can take Juan Soto out of your lineup and place Carson Bench in for defense. Because if you have a lead, because think about it, because and this is the situational thing that I want to mention. If you take Juan Soto out of your, you don't want to do it because you don't want to offend Soto. But say you have a 3-run lead because of Juan Soto maybe hit a home or made the last out or whatever, right? You bring your closer in, you can also bring in Bader or Benj, right? Take out Soto because you have a 2-run lead, right? You bring in your closer, and then if you need or whatever, you can still have Benj or Bader at least try to get you a decent at bat. But in most cases, like with Devin Williams, we don't think Devin Williams is going to be blowing saves. He'll probably blow 2 or 3 saves this year, 4 or 5 saves this year. But we're not now. He's not going to be
last year. He's not going to be last year's Devin Williams.
No, he's not going to be last year's Devin Williams.
He might not be the year before us, but he's going to be. I really feel like he's going to.
He was misused. Up. He was misused with the Yankees, bro.
Yeah, he was not only misused, but they. Yeah, I'll just stick with he was misused because I have a lot of other thoughts about what happened over there. But remember, this guy was a guy that was tearing through baseball for a while. So
for like 3 years, right?
Yep, tearing through it. So I know we lost Diaz, but we didn't. It's unfair to not give Devin Williams a solid chance,
right,
off the bat,
right.
And so I agree with you. You bring in Devin Williams, you bring in Bader, and then Bader plays, occasionally as well, and doesn't cost a lot to get him. He's familiar with the park.
Yeah, and again, the only reason why I say bring in Harrison Bader, the only reason, right? Because for instance, if Brandon Nimmo was still here, and I know Brandon Nimmo was a bad left fielder, right? But he at least has experience in the outfield, right? He has experience playing at Citi Field. If Nimmo were here, I'd be like, I don't want to, but I could see Carson Bench and center. I mean, or if you don't want to, I mean, independent. There's a number of things that you can do if you're the Mets management, right? Because Tyrone Taylor is going to still be here. He's a slightly below Gold Glove center fielder, right? He's not Jose Siri,
right? But Jose Siri ain't Jose Siri. But yeah, I know what you mean by that. Yeah. He for sure is somebody. He's not Juan Lagares either, but he's for sure somebody I'm very comfortable putting in the 9th inning.
Okay.
Very comfortable.
Yeah. And the thing is with that, man, is if we're my theory on it, and I'm not David Stearns, and I know you don't want to ruin the confidence of all the young pitchers you have up by having a lack of defense. I know they're going defense so that they can have confident, young, budding, blossoming young pitchers thriving every day on a pitcher's mound and out of the bullpen. I know that's what it is. like you want to improve your defense because you want to protect your young arms, right? The balance. Bro, this year, man, I'm getting bats, bro. All those bats that you were mentioning, bro. You mentioned a lot of bats, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I felt like defense didn't hurt us. I felt like defense didn't hurt us as much as
the
guys couldn't throw strikes.
Guys couldn't throw strikes.
Yeah.
We couldn't get the hit at the right time.
Runners in scoring position. Yeah.
Yep. The risk was really bad.
Yeah. Juan Soto struggled for like a month.
Yeah. Yeah. And then Lindor for a little while, and Diaz would give me a heart attack every game, even though he was great. He'd load the bases just to strike him out. Like,
yeah,
I just couldn't take 25, all of that.
He's throwing 25 pitches in one inning, bro. You don't want your reliever throwing 25 pitches, bro. Your reliever emptying the tank every time he hit the mound. Everything is laboring every outing.
I'm gonna keep it funky with you. I can't wait to play them after he didn't call us back.
Right.
I wanted 3 straight games. He comes in. Well, he won't come in 3 straight games, but 2 out of the 3 that we just take it out of the park on him. Bye bye.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree with you, bro. I'm with you. I'm with you in that respect. I'm absolutely with you in that respect. Diaz, Dodgers, y'all got something coming here from the match, bro. Right, y'all legit got something coming. But yeah, that's my thing on Tucker and Carson Bench. The unfortunate part is it's not even I guess my point is it's not about Carson Bench. It's about the others. Like, because the thing about it is if Tucker is a better fielder than Soto, do you move Soto to left?
Well, I'm going to tell you right ahead of time. Tucker has a better arm.
Oh. Yeah. And it's more accurate, stronger and more accurate.
Correct. And Soto, younger, played a lot of center and left.
Yeah.
So I don't think it would be that much of a adjustment. He is a incredibly talented offensive player. That's why I am not worried about that left with Soto at all.
Okay.
But for my money, I'm putting Tucker in right field.
Okay.
And if I'm wrong, listen, chat. Anybody else have a feeling on it? Please remember, we're talking like Mets family sitting around outside, sipping on something, talking about it. Feel free.
Juan Soto's defensive run save thing is troubling to me. It's -7 for the year, and says so 7 runs over 160 or over 1,300 innings doesn't sound like a lot. Man, MLB teams lose a lot of 1-inning games, 1-run games, bro.
That's right.
If we win 7 1-run games that we lost, we'd be in the playoffs last year. But at the same time, if a couple of those home runs that Juan Soto hit were just deep fly balls to the warning track, you'd have lost a lot of games. You know what I'm saying? So we just have to think about it like that. So some of those bombs that Soto hit, what if there was just fly balls that died on the warning track? Right. So it's like you kind of think about it like in that sense of, is he a plus player? Yes, because he's a bat.
Yeah. Is he a two-way player? No.
But he's a hell of a one-way player, though.
No, he is a top-tier one-way player.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So,
listen, not everybody in the world could be Ohtani. Just understand that. Right. Nobody in the world's Ohtani.
No.
Ohtani is throwing 100, is hitting 100 home runs, is stealing 100 bags, and then stopping a brawl after getting hit by a baseball by saying, "Everybody have peace. Don't worry, I got dinner for the whole stadium."
Right. Dinner on me, right?
Dinner on me.
Right.
So,
listen. Yeah. I mean, I understand where you're going, but the thing is, the point I was getting at though is if you're David Stearns, if you're talking defense is going to win a championship, the first thing we should be doing is trading for Nico Horner to play third base or play second base and moving Marcus Semien to third base. Right. Or not even bringing Marcus Semien in to spring training. Hey, let him play spring training and then trade him when you figure out who has all the, you know how at the end of spring training, you kind of tally up all the injuries around the league, who needs a second baseman and all that. Or just trade Semien to somebody desperate for a defensive second baseman. Like, who needs a defensive second baseman right now? The Yankees? No. Or just trade Semien.
But they are moving people around the infield over there in the Bronx, so who knows?
Yeah, they're always moving. They should just leave Jazz Chisholm at second.
Yeah.
And then, man, every time he plays like 30 or more games somewhere, he starts to hit, and then they move him. It's classic Yankee stuff, man.
Yeah, let them do it.
Would you consider Marcus Semien and prospects to Cleveland for the Cleveland's third baseman?
Stop it. That's my favorite conversation. You know that, Jay. Yo, that's my favorite conversation.
JJ, would you consider it? Would you consider Marcus Semien and a bunch of prospects, maybe Vientos and Acuna and Mauricio for the Cleveland guy?
You're going to have to throw in one of our higher guys, too. One.
Yeah, why not?
Probably Sproat.
Oh, I knew you were going to say Sproat, bro. Sproat is the Yabusele of Mets world, bro.
Yo.
JJ, Sproat is the Yabusele of Mets universe, bro.
Yeah. Jose Ramirez is the answer you ever looking for the piece of the puzzle? You did the whole damn puzzle. You can't find the damn piece.
Right.
And one day you just sit down at your couch and you put your hand in it down to look for the controller, and there's the piece. That's Jose Ramirez. Jose Ramirez is a 300 hitter every year, and he's a switch hitter. Go get me him. They wanted to give us Stephen Kwan, so we'll take him too. Figure that out. Now you have an outfielder, and you have or Stephen Kwan.
He's an outfielder. He's a right fielder, but he's a great contact hitter.
A great contact hitter.
Right.
Oh, right. He's out there, so he could play any. He'll learn how to play out there.
Who did that contact hitter we spoke about that time?
Yeah. How old is Jose? Is about 31, I think.
Yeah.
I'll look though. 32, I believe. 32 years old on one of the most friendly contracts for a superstar, like 20 a year for 4 more years.
That's what you're playing Polanco, bro.
Yeah. And
David Stearns, what are you doing?
Every time we talk.
David Stearns, what are you doing, man? You
Really?
wasting this guy's money, bro. Yeah. Yeah, man. I think Nico Horner is the guy, I think. I'm gonna look up Nico Horner's defensive run saved. Nico Horner's defensive runs saved is his defensive runs saved is this year it was 0. But he had a year where he saved 10 runs, bro. But that was at shortstop, though.
Right.
Oh, wait a minute. Let me go back. No, I'm sorry. His defensive run saved is 17. It was 17 at second base, right? Yep. So it was 17 at second base. It was 0 at shortstop, and it was okay. So it was 0 at shortstop, and it was 17. Bro, he saved 17 runs at second base. Bro, he saved 17 runs at second base. That is crazy, bro.
I would trade Simeon and a whole bunch of people to go get Jose, and then go get yourself right now. Go get yourself Nico.
I think Nico Horner is the one I would do. I would do that trade tonight because I think that trade is easier. Right? Yeah, that's Jose Ramirez. I would definitely do that one too, bro.
If I told you now, listen, I'm gonna, and please forgive whatever the work they're doing with the computer here, and I appreciate you picking me up on that. I know most people don't even notice, but I want to tell you this. This is Jose Ramirez. Now, he's a bit older, I won't lie to you, but he's got 3 more years left, and he is just turned the age 33. Okay? But I want to tell you, this is the last 5 years. This is his batting average for the last 5 years. 266, 280, 282, 280, 283. All right? That is his OPS for the last 5 years. 993, 872, 869, 863, 831. Home runs. Last year, he had 30 home runs, 85 RBIs, and 44 stolen bases. 44 stolen bases. He's a switch hitter.
As a third baseman.
As a third baseman. The year before that, he had 39 home runs, 118 RBIs, and 41 stolen bases.
That's crazy, bro.
That is bananas. Well, all while hitting 280.
Right.
Bro, this guy has to be getting picked up over here. Yo, this is ridiculous. And I'm telling you, I'm going to go to it. I have to go to it contract is super duper sweet. All right, here it is. They gave him a 7-year deal at 141 million.
That's crazy, bro.
He is on the 4th year. 21 million, 23 million, 25 million. It was backloaded. The front was 14, 17, whatever.
Right.
And then in 2029, he'll be a unrestricted free agent.
We won't need him. We won't need him because Jacob Reimer will be over there.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And Reimer will be primer. He'll be the primer Reimer that we need.
Right. He'll be David Wright by then.
Oh God, don't say that out loud.
Yeah.
Sorry, and we'll have an old switch hitting David Wright until then.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, he is the piece of the puzzle. You would have to give up certain things, but he's the guy,
bro.
He's the guy.
He's the guy, bro.
Bro, he is the guy.
What else? What else do you need? Right? If you go get him and you get Nico Horner, I think you may have the best defensive infield in baseball.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, even if you kept Simeon, but yes, I know Nico Horner and those outs are crazy.
Yeah. Think about what that does for the confidence of your young pitchers.
I want to see if Ramirez ever played first. Nah, he's a third baseman.
He's a third baseman, bro.
Yeah, he's only a third baseman.
He's a third baseman, bro.
Like, I was making a wish meal though, brother. You know what I'm saying? I was making a wish meal. Yeah.
Amen, bro.
I was making a yo.
Yeah.
This man has won. Oh, Gold Glove. I gotta stop talking about it. This is my wish meal.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
Bro, I'm saying it sounds difficult on the surface, right?
Yep.
Like it sounds like a lot of stuff on the surface, but at the same time, bro, at the same time, the guy is available. It's not like this guy is not like Nico Horner. We say his name because his name is already in trade rumors.
Right.
You know? So, yeah. I mean, yeah, man.
Jose Ramirez has been talked about.
Too, also, yeah.
Yep, on different things. That's the guy I'm going to get.
Okay.
And then I may be comfortable with I mean, if you're trading for him, then you could get Tucker as well.
Yeah.
and then your lineup, because he hits 280 with 40 something stolen bases and gets you 30 home runs.
Yeah.
You could put, and he's a switch hitter. You can put him anywhere. You might put him first.
Yeah.
You could definitely put him second.
Yeah. Yeah.
You could put him behind Soto.
Bro, you have a ton of options, bro. You have
bananas, man.
You have a ton of options, bro. Just want to say again, thank you to everybody watching us on the Mets Lounge. I am Uncle Freezy. This is Jay the Chosen One, in the building. We are diehard Mets fans. Legitimately, we talk Mets and Knicks to whatever the max is, right? And shout out to just want to say, give a continuing shouting out some of the places that I enjoy getting Mets content from. Also, Locked On Mets, Wardy, and a whole bunch of other Mets podcasters that have been goats in this space. We're kind of goats in the Knicks universal space, but the Mets thing is kind of a new thing to us. But we love talking Mets so much, so we're here and we're here for you. So if this is your first time coming through Rockin', first of all, welcome. Second, considering subscribing to the channel, hitting that like button, and all the other stuff that we should be asking you to do. If you have any questions, please participate in the chat. We love the chat participation, and things of that sort. So,
yeah. Appreciate you being around, being part of the family. So a couple of other Met friends, maybe some friends or cousins of yours.
Yeah,
we're just a Mets family looking to have some Mets talk and enjoy ourselves.
We're gonna have a good time.
We got a little news coming soon. Yeah. And man, I could talk about this stuff all night.
Yeah.
All night.
All night long.
All night.
Yeah, man.
I was about to spin just now, but I thought my back might not take it right.
Yeah, I gotta go to work tomorrow, bro.
I'm about to say,
yeah, I gotta work tomorrow, bro. I can't.
Yeah,
I that's a bridge too far for me, bro. I'm with you on all the other stuff. That one right there, though. I gotta make a business decision.
Yeah, I made one real quick.
Yeah, man. So what do you think about the what's the word I'm looking for? What are you thinking about the pitching? How do you think Stearns is gonna handle the Mets pitching, bro? The young pitchers. How do you think that's gonna shake out with Stearns this year?
All right, so I think that Stearns is. Listen, I think that we have such a great future in our farm that he might run out who we have now and may go out and get a couple of twos or maybe a 2 and a 3.
Okay.
We got a wealth of usable pitchers right now. Usable.
Right.
I wouldn't say they're good, but they're usable.
Right.
I wouldn't say they're bad either. I'm just saying,
They're definitely not bad.
They're definitely not bad. I'm just saying, are they? They're not. even. They're not even Paul Skeens. They're not.
Right.
But they're definitely could eat up innings and
Right.
they definitely can. So I don't know how much he's going to do with that. You know what? I'm going to tell you right now. I'm a little confused. David Stern has me, and I'm not used to this. The silence is deafening. I'm not sure what he's doing. He doesn't state every day. You hear a little bit of something. I check out Wardy, and I'll hear one thing, and then all of a sudden it'll go away for a little while, and then, but he definitely knows,
Right.
What he's talking about. I'll go check out the passings and like I said, Salmons and people like that,
Right.
and
Right. Right.
I wonder what they feel like it. Because one day you'll hear it's a guarantee we're going to get a bat and like a pitch or two.
Right. At the same time, in a historically slow offseason, we don't know if it's fair to assume what they'll do. Because the thing is they have major league bats on a roster already. But our major league bats right now are vanilla ice cream with the potential to become banana splits, right?
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, there are bats out there that are already banana splits, right? Proven banana splits. And so do you trade a bunch of kids for a proven bat? I think you do it for Horner. I think you do it for Ramirez. The only thing is when you have such a depth in bats. I'm saying that laughing to myself, like, the Mets are deep with major league talent. Like I'm saying it, and because when I say it out loud, it makes me laugh because I'm not used to saying it.
It's a good feeling,
right? But I don't know if Marcus Semien. I think I would look at moving him. So his salary can come off the book because he's got 3 years left, right?
So I think around that 2 or 3.
Yeah. So you'd have to move him for some prospect. It depends on what a team wants.
Is it Marcus Semien? When I think of Marcus Semien, I think he's like 38 years old or something. How old is that guy?
Nah, he's 34.
All right. I mean, look, he's put some seasons together. Can he catch fire? He can, but
is he a solid veteran pro leader in the locker room? Good defender? Yeah.
Yeah.
Could I trade him to Baltimore for the Jackson, whatever his name is, kid?
Holiday?
No, they're not giving up on Jackson Holiday that fast. But can we move him to Baltimore so they can shore up second base for that infield that they have? Gunnar Henderson. Who's their shortstop right now?
That kid, Holiday, I thought
he's a second baseman.
Didn't they put him a short?
I don't know. I can check. I thought he was a second baseman, but hey, listen, I'm not perfect, bro. I'll check.
It's okay. It's been a long chat.
Let's see. Jackson Holiday is a second baseman. Yeah.
He's a second baseman?
Yeah. All day long. Yeah. He just turned 22.
Yeah, he's a kid. Is it
He turned 22 in December.
Weird. I just looked at the whole roster, and the first person I saw was Peter Alonso.
Make you want to just jump out of the window.
Look, the first guy right here. It's That is just not. Gunnar Henderson is their shortstop.
Okay. So they have a young third baseman then. Let me go back.
Yeah, yeah.
They have
Third base is he's also
Westbrook.
Westberg. He's 26.
Yeah. Yeah.
He hit 17 home runs last year. Hit 265, but he only played 85 games.
They're projecting him to hit 26 home runs this year, bro. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, not bad.
Yeah, I don't even know why they just love first baseman. They got Ryan Mountcastle, Kobe Mayer, Peter Alonso. They got like,
They
and
love
they
doing
just
that for
traded
some
one.
reason.
I thought Mountcastle was a monster. I gotta check. Hold on.
Is he their DH now?
No, it would be somebody else. I think they promised him first base.
Okay.
Yeah, and they also they might be a team to watch.
Yeah.
But they have a similar problem pitching. They got couple kids I would have liked to got. They got and they took the Trevor Rogers. They have I think that's the brother, right?
I
Yeah,
think
their
so.
pitching is iffy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, pitching's pretty iffy.
Yeah.
They got a good team. They got okay. But that you know what? They picked up Taylor Ward from the Angels.
Oh.
Yeah, and Ward had a crazy year last year. Uh, Ward had Ward had 36 home runs, 103 RBIs, but he had a very stinky batting average.
Yeah.
Struck out a lot.
Who cares? The Orioles don't care about
Stinky.
batting average.
What did you say?
They don't care about batting average, bro.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, I caught you just.
I caught it back.
Yeah. You got anything else before we wrap up, bro? Anything else you want to say to the people? Say to our. I want to say thank you to our people.
Yeah, my thing is, well, I want to thank everybody, obviously, for coming on and joining us and hanging out with us. We're gonna be doing this together and doing other
Was this fun for you,
things.
bro? Was this fun?
Say it again.
Was this fun?
I had a blast. I had an absolute blast, and I hope that
This
the
is
chat
fun,
had an
bro.
absolute blast. Did you have a blast?
Yeah, man. Yeah, this is fun, bro.
Yeah. Um, I have a blast talking about my team and doing it the way we do it, casually, what ifs, and a little couch GM, a little nostalgia from the past, a
Right.
little coaching, a little what ifs.
Little statistics, little
Right.
analytics, tiny bit.
Yeah.
Little practicality.
Right. Some
Right.
facts,
Right. Right.
some hopes.
Right. Some tears.
And they're blurring.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Carlos Beltran makes me cry, bro.
Yeah.
Yo, the Carlos Beltran thing legit still makes me. And I like Beltran, bro.
Let me tell you something. One of the things
Real quick. I had a point. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to cut you. Just one other thing. I was while we were talking about Mark Vientos. Mark Vientos is in the 80th percentile on fastballs the last 2 years. So Mark Vientos, you can't throw It's not likely you throw the fastball by him. And what we consider a fastball is anything above 95. He's in the 80th percentile 2 years in a row, 25 and 24. To that point that I was making, like if you're Paul Skeens and you feel like you're just gonna blow him away. I know you won't. I just wanted to add that one last thing. So my bad, because I researched it and there was a point to it. And then the irony is that fastball percentage that I mentioned, he was better last year than he was the year before. He was better last year than the OMG year, which means he was improving, but his playing time was inconsistent.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So, I mean, I actually think that you just need to give people more room to grow, more space to grow.
Yeah.
To bloom. They need a little watering, a little more sun, a little more of that. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody loves the sunshine.
Yeah.
Everybody loves the sunshine.
Yeah.
You want to tell our people?
Yeah, I guess I'll holler at the people for now. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Listen, I'm just, I love rocking out with Uncle Freeze, man. And I also love to hear when he, does his own thing too, and making a little PSA that I'm coming out with the show here. The name, I think I'll reveal the name next time. But during the show, it's going to be a little bit different than this show. It's going to be more about the nostalgia stuff, about what's your favorite team. If you could make it the Mets team of all time, what would be your favorite team? We're going to break down different players from different eras and talk about them. We're going to talk about your favorite players. I'm going to talk about my favorite players. I'm going to talk about the first all team, the second all team, and the third all team. Who are the 10 best pitchers the Mets ever had? Stuff like that. I don't want to give it all out because you give it all out, then it's going to be nothing left to hear.
You can preview it, bro. Like we're not going to steal it.
Yeah,
we're dedicated to you, bro.
Yeah, I appreciate you all, man, and it's nothing but love. But
because the preview makes us come back.
Say it again, brother.
The preview makes us come back.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah. So I'm gonna tell you right off the top, man. My first 1 and 2 is Dwight Gooden and Jacob DeGrom. Those are my 1 and 2 right there. If I'm going into a series,
what?
Dwight Gooden and Jacob DeGrom.
Get out of
and I know people are gonna be mad because Tom Seaver isn't the first person throwing.
Are you serious, bro?
I'm talking about when I got to see was the best pitcher I've ever seen for me.
I think this is a bias. Let me ask you this: who is your favorite Mets catcher of all time?
See that? So that's why I'm gonna have a team 1. Your favorite?
No, I'm just talking about team 1.
Your favorite team 3. So on my team 1, I'm gonna be honest. I have to put because I loved him. I have to put. He's not my favorite of all time. Mike Piazza goes on the first one. But my favorite catcher of all time is Gary Carter.
This show is gonna be bonkers, bro. When you think about starting?
About the what?
When you talk about starting, the show?
I think we'll start it within the next 2 weeks or next week.
All right.
I'll be ready to roll.
So chat, y'all heard it right. Get ready to argue, right? Get your rally caps on right now. Do your research. so that when Jay Chosen starts the show, you can see how your lineups line up with his lineups and do the comparison. You can tell your friends, have them get ready for the great debate also, because it's going to jumpstart Mets nostalgia, and we're going to just go at it with these conversations, man.
We sure will.
So if you're a Mets fan, like a diehard fan, this show Jay Chosen is talking about is going to be fire.
Yeah,
right?
I appreciate that, brother.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
looking so forward to it.
Yeah, man.
And we're gonna have a great time with it. Bring your Mets
man.
thinking cap. Go to
Does it look like a rally cap?
Get a rally cap. Get a baseball. Go get a baseball so you can have one. Oil the glove. Put the ball in there and wrap the rubber band around it and stick it under the pillow.
Yeah. Man.
Because hey, I gotta say something.
That's still hilarious, Eric.
Yeah. Well, I think that's what it is, by the way.
Bang. So chat, thank you everybody for coming through and rocking with us. Thank y'all for helping grow the channel. We're just looking to put some stuff out there, man. Rock with y'all. Talk this stuff, man. Just super dope time, having fun. We're gonna wrap here. Thank y'all everybody for coming through. Now, if something happens in the middle of the night, I'll be back. Right? If the Mets sound Kyle Tucker 4:00 in the morning, I'll be back here with a cup of coffee. Right? But thank y'all for coming through, man. We'll talk to y'all later.
Yeah.
Peace, everybody.
Thank you, guys.